Good morning everyone, it's Live It Like Lisa here. I'm back finally. I know for you guys it's probably only been about 2 weeks, well only, yeah, when you're expecting a video at least once a week, 2 weeks is probably a long time. In YouTube land it's probably been only 2 weeks since I've actually filmed, but in real life it's probably been closer to a month, and my God, has a lot happened. So I thought today I'd just sit down and catch up with you guys and just let you know everything that's been happening in our lives with my dad and everything else. Get this up to you by Monday, and then I'll get stuck back into my normal weekly vlogs after that. Because yeah, there's been a lot. I had to watch my previous vlog just to catch myself up on what was the last thing I filmed for you guys and what was the last things that were happening in our lives. So in my last vlog, I think I was doing a bit of a reorganization in my craft room, but towards the end of that video, I was giving you guys, yeah, updates of stuff that's been happening. So at that time, this was on about the 24th of January. I think I was filming it on Australia Day, which was the 26th, which was the Friday. But 2 days before that, or 3 days before that, on the 24th of January, my dad got taken to hospital by ambulance. His carer was there at the time doing his shower and everything, and he couldn't stand up. Like he was sat at the dining table. You know, she said, okay, let's go do your shower. And he couldn't actually stand up from the chair. And so she got him a glass of water. He couldn't actually pick the glass of water up. And then when she was talking to him, she noticed that his speech had gone a bit funny. So they suspected he might have been having a stroke or something like that. They called the ambulance. The ambulance took him to hospital. But at that time, we had no cars for me to get up there. We had Michael's work van had broken down a couple of weeks prior to that. So then Michael was using the Hummer for his work vehicle. That then had broke down, I think, the Friday before my dad went into hospital. So then we were down to one car, which was the White Falcon. That's mainly the car that I use to go to and from my dad's place and shopping and wherever I want to go. So we were down to that car. That was the only car Michael really had to get to and from work, to drop the kids off. And I needed that car to go up to see my dad. Also, on top of all that, the following week, so with my dad being in hospital that week, the following week I was planning to stay at my dad's prior to all this happening, because I had to work from the office for that week. We had some new people starting and they wanted a few people in the office doing some training with them one-on-one. I was supposed to be up in Port. I was going to stay at my dad's, look after him while he was there, not knowing that he'd be in hospital at the time. But yeah, my plan was to just live with my dad at home, go to and from the office in Port, and yeah, all of that was all kind of planned before everything happened. So yeah, at the time that I was filming my last vlog, I think it was on the Friday, I had no idea how everything was going to work out. So Dad went in hospital Tuesday. So I went up to my dad's on the Saturday and stayed at his place. I think the Hummer was going to be another week before it had gotten fixed anyway. So I think the kids and Michael were just like surviving at home for that week, yeah, not really being able to go anywhere. So when I went to the hospital on the Saturday, they needed to find out what kind of pacemaker my dad had before they could do an MRI on his brain to see whether he had a stroke. Because apparently, yeah, with the pacemaker being metal or whatever, and then the MRI machine being magnetic, it's just a disaster. So at the time it was like, yeah, he was just gonna pretty much go back home once he got sorted. But while he was there, they pretty much decided, like, due to my dad's age, due to his frailty and all his other health conditions, they decided not to go ahead with the MRI. They just said it would have been too risky with his pacemaker and everything else going on. And at the end of the day, the doctor actually explained to me, he said, look, even if he did have a stroke, whether we confirm he did or not, we'd still be treating him the same way, because he said there is a drug that they can give them when they do have a stroke, but he said he generally doesn't give that medication out for anyone over the age of 80, and especially if they've got other life-threatening health issues. He basically said, look, even if we did confirm he had a stroke, we're not going to do anything different to what we're doing now. So he said he's not going to bother going ahead with the MRI because this drug apparently has a lot of side effects that if you're not strong enough to deal with them, it's going to be pointless. So yeah, we don't know for sure whether he did have a stroke. It's possible he did have like a mini stroke. And I found out too, actually, while I was talking to the doctor, because he had his whole history there, that my dad had already suffered mini strokes previously, a few years ago. So I didn't even know, or maybe remember, or yeah, I had no inkling that he had already suffered a couple of strokes previously. So yeah. At the end of the day, they said, look, no point doing anything different. But while he was in there, they did see a decline in his mental capacities, because obviously the nurses and things that were there this time were the same nurses that were there last time my dad was in hospital when he had his mini heart attacks. They saw quite a bit of a decline in his mental capacities, and they pretty much said that he won't be able to go back living by himself. He'll need more care, basically. So they said they're going to organize respite care for him, but then even after respite care, he would need to go into a permanent home, because it's just not, just for his own safety, you know, health safety, it is better off that he's got someone there looking after him 24/7. So I've got a whole little timeline here that I'm trying to follow while I tell you guys, because honestly, this past month has just been such a whirlwind. I can't even get it straight in my head what happened when. That was the Saturday when I went up and talked to the doctor to find out everything that happened. It was the following week when they basically said they're not going to do the MRI, that he can't live at home, and that they were going to organise respite care. So me thinking, oh, that's great, the hospital's going to organise everything for me, I don't have to do anything. I get a phone call later on that week from the social worker at the hospital to say, hey, have you organised respite care for your dad yet? And I was like, oh, well, no. The last time I spoke to the doctor, he said you guys were organising all that. And she's like, oh, no, we don't do it, blah, blah, blah. And you need to go and see which aged care home you want your dad in. So I thought, oh, well, fair enough. Like, I later on found out that that actually was her job, to organise the respite care, but they often push it back onto the families to do it, so it relieves a lot of their work. So anyway, I organised some respite care for my dad. Thankfully, I got him into the place that I wanted him in. Like, I had about probably 2 or 3 on my list that I had heard good things about, and when I went to visit the place, they looked nice and all of that sort of thing. I managed to get him into respite care for 2 weeks, leading to a permanent position in the same place. So thankfully that all worked out. I mean, that was the biggest stress I have ever had. Just, you know, I was still working like every day full time, but in amongst that, I was trying to go and visit the nursing homes and get information about what is required and all that, organize all the power of attorney on his bank accounts, on his everything, on his bills, everything. So organizing all of that, and yeah, dealing with government bodies and banks, you just know it's never smooth sailing. So from about the 1st of February through to the 8th of February, I was organizing respite care, permanent care for my dad, all of that sort of thing. Because we knew he was definitely going into permanent care then, obviously we had to sell his house to pay for him to go into permanent care. So I organised for the manager of the village where my dad lives, sells the properties. So I organised for her to come in and do an appraisal on the house. And that was on the Thursday the 8th, or Wednesday the 8th, I think, of February. So when I phoned her up to come to do the appraisal, she said, oh yeah, I can come out in about an hour. She goes, but I've got a couple that is coming down from Queensland to look at some houses in the village. So would you mind if I brought them through your dad's house as well? Like, and then I can do the appraisal while I'm there, sort of thing. And I said, oh, okay, but you know, I hadn't sort of had the house, you know, when you're selling a house, you want it all looking spick and span. So I hadn't really had it detail cleaned. The outside was still all full of cobwebs and needed a good pressure clean and all of that. So it wasn't looking the best, but I said, well, yeah, just can bring them through anyway. And I was planning to do a whole garage sale on that weekend, clear most of the stuff out and then give the house a good clean. So she came through on the Wednesday, did the appraisal, she went, and then about an hour later, she came back with a signed sale contract from the buyers that came through, basically to say, yeah, they want to buy the house. So we negotiated a price that we were all happy with, and yeah, my dad's house sold before it even went on the market. So that was great. I mean, that whole lucky girl syndrome thing was definitely shining on me in regards to that. And pretty much after that, everything's just fell into place. So got the appraisal done, pretty much sold the house on the Wednesday the 8th. Saturday the 11th of February, I had a big, like, wasn't even a big garage sale because thankfully I had decluttered and done my whole dad's house the prior year. So most of the bulk stuff was gone. It was just all the furniture that was left and all the little bits and pieces. I just had a little bit of a garage sale on the Saturday, put all the stuff out the front, listed all the furniture and everything that we had for sale on Marketplace. And by Sunday afternoon, everything was gone. I sold every single piece of furniture in the house. Even, I'm not kidding guys, like my dad, in the little single room that I used to stay in when I slept at my dad's, that little single bed I used to sleep in had been my bed since I was 4 years old. So that bed and the mattress was 45 years old, and it got sold. I mean, mind you, I didn't sell it for a lot. I basically sold that whole little bedroom that I used to stay in, plus my dad's bedroom, plus the dining table and chairs that he sat at for, I think, $120 all up. But I calculated it because the two beds, like my bed and my dad's bed, it was a ensemble, so it had a mattress and then a mattress base. If we were to actually take them to the tip to try and get rid of them, it would have cost us more than $120 to get rid of them, because I charge you, I think, $30 per mattress to dump at the tip. So it would have cost me $120 just to get rid of them, and this lady paid me $150 to take it all away. So that was just a miracle. And she said, you know, if she could pick it up in a couple of weeks' time. And I said, that's even more perfect because I need to sort of stay in the house and live in the house for a couple more weeks until my dad's settled into care and we've got the house and everything sorted out. So it all just worked out perfect. That was the 11th. Tuesday, the 14th of February, my dad went into respite care. So he was in the hospital from the 24th of January through to the 14th of February, which is, yeah, 3 weeks he was in hospital. Not that he was ill for 3 weeks. I mean, he basically come good the day that he went into the hospital. Like, he didn't have anything wrong then, but they were basically just holding him in the hospital till we could get a spot into respite care because they just didn't want him going home by himself. So yeah, Valentine's Day, 14th of February, he moved over into the respite care. Now that week prior to him moving in, I was able to go into, we got him his room, so I was able to go into his room, decorate it, put some personal belongings in there, put all his clothes and everything in there and make the room all nice and homely for when he got there. So yeah, I was like working at work and then spending the next few days after work just going in and clean. Not that the place needed cleaning, it didn't need cleaning, but just getting some new furniture and decorating his room so it was all ready for him, which I've got some footage of that, so I'll insert that here for you as well. So yeah, I was so excited just to have all his room decorated, and all the nurses were coming in going, oh my God, his room's so beautiful. It's like, where did you get the bookcase from? Where did you get the nightstand from? They loved it. And yeah, it was really nice. So they said all the room looked really good for him. So yeah, I'll insert that footage here now. All right, so here's a little overview of what my dad's room looked like before I moved him in. It's very sterile and clinical looking and very hospital looking when you first sort of walk in. Very, very clean though, smelt nice, was super clean. Yeah, I mean, he's got everything he needs in here. He's got a bed there, we've got a chair in the corner, little side table. He's got his wardrobes, some drawers. I bought him a little rug from Kmart, but yeah, we ended up taking that back just for a slip hazard. He's got his valet trolley here that I stacked all his belongings on to bring to his room. Got a TV, and then in here he's got a nice big ensuite that it's got all non-slip floors, big open shower to help him shower, toilet, sink, and a mirrored vanity cupboard up the top there so he can store all his toiletries. And yeah, like I said, very, very clean, smelt really nice, just a little bit clinical, and yeah, we got to make it look a little bit more homely, I think, so he's nice and comfortable when he moves in. And then that's the sink area. Yeah, it's really lovely big ensuite actually, and he's got his handles over the toilet so it makes it easier to get up on and off the toilet. This is the room looking from the ensuite, and then he's got a veranda out this door here. I'll just show you outside, and that veranda looks over the courtyard. There's like a little courtyard walkway. So he's got the option to sit out on his veranda and get a little bit of fresh air and sunshine if he ever needs it. And that's the little courtyard that he overlooks. So he's on the second floor. And well, that's actually the main floor. So that's the same floor you walk in on. And then the floor underneath, you'd have to actually go down to that floor as well. So yeah, this is the place, and we are going to do a little bit of decorating magic and make it look a little bit more homely for my dad. So these are just some of the still shots of the before we've moved him in, and then I'll show you after a couple of trips to Kmart, getting some new furniture and some new decor items, and then also bringing in some of his own decor items. We'll show you what it looks like after. And here is the after. We've done a little bit of a mix of some of his old things as well as some new things, and I think it just looks so much more homely. So I set all this up for him so that it was all ready to go when he arrived, and it would look a little bit more like it's his own space. So that big picture was from his own house that used to be hanging up in the entryway. We've got his wardrobe here. We've got still his clothes are at the reception getting labelled, so they've got to label all his clothes. But at the top I've got some storage tubs, we've got some extra bedding. The middle one is for extra toiletries, and the end one is for some extra snacks. So like I said, yeah, all his clothes are still getting labelled. I bought him a whole heap of new clothes because all his old ones were crap. I've got him 3 pairs of new shoes, so one of them's at the hospital with him now, and then a new pair of slippers and another second pair of sneakers. Because yeah, just everything he owned was just rotten, stained or mouldy, so he needed some new stuff. I've got a picture of him and my mum here when they were younger. That's my dad with his jet black curly hair, and my mum. I don't even know how old they were there. We've got this little reed diffuser here from Kmart that I bought just to make the room smell a bit nicer. And then in this top drawer here, we've got, like I said, I'm going to put all his socks and underwear, but they're all getting labelled at the moment. This is where all his shorts and long pants are going to go. And then the bottom drawer is where I'm just going to put all his track pants. So here I've got a basket with all his walking sticks and dressing sticks. I'm actually going to get a Kmart toilet roll holder in the rattan to put those in because it's a little bit skinnier and taller, and then use that basket in the laundry for his dirty hamper. And here they've just provided like a little gift bag that's got a few little things in for my dad. A bamboo toothbrush. Yeah, he probably won't be needing that since he doesn't have any teeth. And a little pack of new hankies, a bottle of shaving cream, a little photo frame there, and then a little like a welcome card, which I thought was really lovely. So yeah, that's there waiting for him when he arrives. And then this is his bedside table, so I've just put in some pens, a notebook, a clean hanky, and his darts. There we've just got his hearing aids and some breathing medication, and then that one's just empty at this stage. And then, like I was saying before, that painting is from his place that used to hang up in the entryway. And then I've bought him this new throw pillow from Kmart. The bedding is what he's always had. This is just some Valentine's heart biscuits I found at Woolies and some couple of magazines. And then he's got his remote for his TV on the wall. And yeah, I think I was saying the bedding is his own bedding. So this is the new little bookshelf I bought from Kmart, and I've just put on it some photos that he's had from his place. So photos of my mum, photos of him and my mum together. And then this little plant, that used to be one of mine, but I put it in my dad's. Got my kids here. We've got some books. I've got a basket full of Kit Kats and little mini Scotch finger biscuits because he loves his biscuits and Kit Kats with his tea. That's his favourite picture of him and Jessie together. I think Jessie was about maybe 3 months old there. Some more books and another basket of chips, some snacks. And again, Muhammad Ali, one of his favourite people. And that bookshelf, yeah, that was a new one I got from Kmart. I covered the chair that was in here with just this throw rug and a new throw pillow just to tie into the colours. I kind of went with the colours of the floor because it's like that greeny colour. We've got a box full of Biscoff biscuits here. I got another little bamboo box for his glass cleaning wipes. And then just like a beach towel I've just put down there just in case I have a trip to the beach. And again, this used to be at my place, then into my dad's place, so we've brought it back into his room. In the shower, ensuite, I didn't really do much. I just put his toiletries in here, basically. There was not really any need for decoration, just trying to keep it simple for my dad. So, yeah, that was just all his toiletries that he uses in there. Shavers, cotton buds, combs, brush, just all easy to get to. And that's the QV lotion that he uses and some wipes. And then they've got the bin there. And yeah, and like I said, that big basket that had all his walking sticks in, I've now put into the bathroom as his laundry hamper. So when the nurses come to collect it, it's all there. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. I think it looks nice and homely now, not so sterile. So yeah, I know he's going to love it. All the nurses loved all the Kmart furniture, so yeah, I think it looks good. And these are just some still clips that I took of the after. And then we'll get my dad's reaction at the end to see what he thinks of it all. Here's Dad.
Cheers all.
In his new room. He's very happy. He loves it. Already in his comfy chair. We've just turned the TV off. He's been watching TV. You happy with your room, Dad?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful, love it.
Ah, that's good. Got all pictures of my mum up there and of the kids. I guess I should probably put a picture of me there so he doesn't forget me. So we'll get one of them done soon. So how are you feeling, Dad? Good?
Beautiful, love. Thank you.
That's good. I'm
Thank
glad
you
you're
very
happy.
much.
I'm glad you're happy. So it's just getting settled in. We're going to have a little bit of a walk around, a bit of a tour of the place to see where everything is. But yeah, I think he loves his room. So yeah, we're all good and we're all settled in already.
Yep.
So yes, he moved in on Valentine's Day into his new room. Absolutely loved it. Thought it was really, really nice. And the actual aged care home was having like a little Valentine's Day party for all the residents. So in the activities room, they had the whole thing decorated in like love hearts and all like reds and pinks, and they had like a little party spread going on with cups of tea and coffee and cake and all of that sort of thing. So once we got my dad settled in his room, I took him over to the activity hall so he could join in the Valentine's Day party and start to meet a few people. And yeah, I had to then sort of chuff off and get some more paperwork. It's all paperwork. It was just all forms that needed to be handed in, filled in, signed in. And yeah, so I sort of left him there for a couple of hours while I did what I needed to do. And yeah, when I come back, he was all happy. I mean, my dad, he's a lot like me. When there's food involved, he's happy. So if there's little parties going on with party food and coffee and tea, yeah, he's got everything he needs. And he's starting to meet a few different people he made me laugh. Because that first day when he come back from the Valentine's Day party, we went back to his room and I was like, oh yeah, how was your Valentine's Day party? He's like, oh, it was good, it was really good. He goes, but the people in here, their mind's gone. Like, he goes, they're way beyond me. Like, yeah, some of them, they don't even think straight. And I'm just laughing because I'm like, oh, that's probably you too. No, I didn't say it to him, but yeah, in his mind, they're all way gone, whereas he's still a young spirit, you know. But yeah, I think he's really like, I think he realizes that he can't be at home by himself anymore. It's too hard. It's too much of a struggle. He needs too much help doing stuff, you know, just simple things like being able to put his shoes and socks on, being able to wipe himself, shower himself, just little things like that. He's just not got the mobility to do that anymore. So yeah, I think he's kind of come to the realization that he couldn't be by himself anymore. And you know, when I talk to him, I mean, he's really happy in there. Like, I think he just wants to like start to meet. Once he starts meeting a few people and getting a few friends, he's going to be fine. Like, I think the first few days he felt a little bit lonely because, yeah, there probably wasn't a lot of people that he had much in common with. But I've booked him into every activity because they've got at least 2 activities going on every day, whether it's outings or different like games and activities that are happening in the hall. For this first month, I've booked him into everything. So it's not only going to keep him busy, but he'll get to try out all the different activities that they do. He'll know which ones he likes and which ones he doesn't for next month. And not only that, he'll start meeting different people as well. So mostly for that social interaction, I just wanted him to get out and be able to have friends that he can talk to every day and stuff like that. And they do pub outings, like they do like a men's pub outing. I'm not sure if it's every couple of weeks, so oh my God, he's gonna love that. They do like different shopping outings, and they've all, like the whole calendar, they've got a whole calendar for the month of February, and it's just jam-packed. Like every day, there's at least 3 activities on every day that you can go to. So I've put him down for everything. And they have the nurses that come round to the room to let you know that, hey, the activity's on now. You come and join in wherever he needs to go. So yeah, he's been really, really enjoying that. He's in there now for 2 weeks on respite care. And then once the respite care finishes, he'll go straight into being permanent resident. And with the house being sold too, so the house sold on the 8th, they wanted a really quick settlement because apparently their house in Queensland has already sold and is settling at the end of this month, so 27th of February, and they wanted settlement of our house to happen on the same day, which suited us absolutely perfectly because it's around about that time that then my dad changes over to the permanent care. So we'll need the money for the house to then transfer over to the aged care. So it all just worked out like that lucky girl syndrome. It couldn't have worked out any better. So fingers crossed, touching wood, that it all continues to go smooth and nothing happens in the meantime, but all the contracts have been signed. So yeah, fingers crossed. So this leads us today, the 19th of February, Sunday. So yesterday, Michael and the kids all came up to my dad's house, and we did the whole, mostly Jessie actually, did a whole pressure wash on my dad's outside of the house, gave it all a good clean. It's all looking spick and span. I think Michael, I'm hopeless when it comes to vlogging. When I've got stuff on and my mind is cluttered, vlogging is the last thing that I'm thinking about. So I didn't even film any of this, but I think Michael took a few before and after pictures, so I'll insert a few of those as well. We just gave the whole outside a good pressure wash. All the furniture and everything, the last of the furniture got picked up yesterday as well, so the house is completely empty. The only thing we're taking back is the fridge and the dryer. I know I've got 2 dryers now, but I think my dad's dryer is actually a little bit newer than the one we've currently got, so we'll probably just do a bit of a switch over. So yeah, we did a big clean of the house, took most of the stuff back with us that needed to come back. So now I've got an abundance of cleaning supplies, bathroom supplies, paper towels, toilet rolls, foil, cling wrap, all that stuff that you inherit from your parents' house, you know, all the excesses. So yeah, we brought all of that back. We've just got to go back again on Friday to pick up the fridge and the dryer, and just a handful of other little things that just could not fit in the car. Like we had the Hummer, the trailer, and the White Falcon, and it was full to the brim, like every chock-a-block to the brim. So yeah, there's just a handful of items up there that we just need to bring back next Friday. So yeah, I've brought everything back here. I mean, my whole house, Jessie has been keeping the whole house so clean while I've been gone, but you can see here, that's all excess stuff that's come from my dad's that needs to find a spot in our house now. But yeah, Jessie has been keeping the whole house really tidy. She's been doing all the washing, keeping everything really clean. So when I got home yesterday, the house smelt nice. It looked all clean. Everything was perfect. She did such a good job. And now we've brought everything back. It's all, it's all a mess again, because we've just, all the excess food we've just dumped into the pantry, not even sorted it. That's all the excess cleaning stuff and yeah, sundries that we need to find spots for in the house. Michael's still got a crap ton of stuff in the trailer that needs to be unloaded. So yeah, I think I'm just going to be spending the next week slowly getting my house back together. So today, all I'm going to do is just at least put all of those cleaning products, bathroom products in the rooms that they belong in, and then throughout the week just slowly, room by room, reorganize everything again. But yeah, that is the tea. That is everything that has been happening. So thankful to the gods above, or karma, or whoever has been shining down on us, that we found Dad an aged care home to be in, a really lovely aged care home to be in as well. Like the nurses there, they just cannot do enough for you. Like I said, before he moved into the home, I was there the week before. I bought some new furniture from Kmart, like a little bookshelf and a little side table and everything. And I was in his room putting it together, and I needed like a screwdriver, and I asked one of the nurses, oh, you know, would you happen to have a screwdriver I could borrow? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. And then he gave me the screwdriver, and he said, do you want me to give you a hand putting any of this together? And he goes, you know, let me help you. And I'm like, no, it's fine. You know, they're busy, run off their feet enough. I'm like, no, it's fine. I just needed the screwdriver. And yeah, they just can't do enough for you. And they're so lovely and so gentle with the residents and everything. They're just, yeah, really, I'm just so happy where he is. Like, and he's had nothing. And you know, you sort of see it while you're there, but you don't know what's happening when you're not there. But every resident that I've talked to, they all love it. They all say they're treated really well, and that there's nothing too much trouble for the nurses. And you know, they're telling me, oh, if you ever need anything, you tell them and they'll come and get it for you. And yeah, and I've seen it with my own eyes, and they're just absolutely lovely there. Just, I'm so grateful, so happy. I mean, it's going to make my dad's life easier. You know, he's getting now 6 meals a day. So he gets breakfast in his room, which is proper cooked breakfast. He gets breakfast, morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, and dessert. And then I think even before he goes to bed, he can have another cup of tea. And they've got like little coffee lounges all around where you can go and make your own cappuccinos, and like, you know, those machines where you just press a button and it makes your own hot chocolate cappuccinos and all that. They've got their own cinema. They've got like a whole room that's set up like a cinema that they can go and watch that. They've got their library. They've got the activities room. They've got like physio that comes round once a week doing massages and different things. And oh, like there's just so much there. Like there's so much going on every day. And yeah, I think he's going to have such a better life there. Definitely going to be eating a lot better, and it's all prepared for him. It's all cleaned up for him. He doesn't have to worry about doing it himself, working a microwave. He's got help showering every day. There's someone there cleaning his clothes, changing his bed, helping him with anything he needs help with. And he's got company every day. There's always someone around to talk to. I honestly think it's going to be such a better life for him. You know, I used to really worry about him just being sat at home on the days when he can't remember how to turn the TV on. He's just sat in his chair looking at a black screen like that. I mean, that's not living. That's just existing. Basically sitting there waiting to die is what that is. And you know, that's not right. My dad's still got a lot of life in him. You know, he's still got a spirit in him. He's not like, you know, just sat there doing nothing. Like he wants to talk to people and all that sort of thing. And yeah, I just think it's just going to be so much better for him. And in all honesty, from a selfish point of view, it's going to be so much better for me. Like not having that constant worry in my mind, like, you know, is my dad all right? If I haven't heard from him or he hasn't phoned me that day, I'm like, has he fallen? Is he okay? And then if I ring and he doesn't pick up, there's that constant worry. Is he all right? Is he eating the dinners that I've been able to make for him? Does he remember how to do the microwave? You know, and even for me, just rushing up there on the weekend and doing his shopping, doing his cooking, doing his cleaning, getting him ready for the week. And then by the time I've done that, the day's gone and I have to head back home, and I haven't actually spent any actual time with my dad. I've just been running around him, basically, getting him ready for the next week. And at least now when I go up each week, I can just spend the whole time with him. You know, I can take him out. We can go out pub, you know, well, I don't really drink, but take him out to the pub for a few beers, get him some fish and chips on the beach, actually spend the time with him rather than just all the work and the chores that need to be done surrounding him. So yeah, from a selfish point of view, it's definitely going to take a lot of stress off my mind as well. I think we'll leave it at that for this video, and then I'll start doing my normal weekly vlog. I'll probably start my normal weekly vlog today as well, putting everything away and starting to get the house back into shape again. And yeah, we'll go from there. So thank you guys for all you guys that have been messaging me and checking up on me and making sure everything's going right. Everything is going perfectly so far. So the Falcon's still running smoothly. We got the Hummer back fixed. That's all running good again. Michael knows now what's wrong with the actual van, and he said it's pretty much an easy fix. He's just waiting on the parts to come in. So far, touch wood, life is good again. We're going okay. And should I update you on the Deef? Show you how big the Deef has gotten in a month? Let's see. I was shocked when I saw how big he'd gotten. Look at him. He's so beautiful. And he's still the most beautiful dog in the world. But look how big this guy's getting. Deefa! Hello! You're so big now. You're still my baby. You're still my baby. But yeah, he's a beautiful dog. He's just coming on leaps and bounds. He listens. He comes back when he's called. He him and the cat are, like, I can't say they're actually getting on as far as their pals and buddies, but he knows enough to just leave the cat alone. She's a bit of a bitch with him. She's constantly antagonizing him and trying to get a reaction out of him, but he's so smart, he just ignores her. He just pretty much leaves her alone. And yesterday, Jessie said she was home, not yesterday, the day before, and by the way, he's gotten the name Deefa. Like, we introduced him as Viking, but it didn't stick. We called him Deefa for a joke, Deefa dog, and it's just stuck, and that's pretty much his official name now. So it's Deef, Mr. Deefar. Like, how does Jessie say it? Mr. Defar, for a posh sounding way. But yeah, it's Deefa. He just suits it, and that's what he answers to now as well. So no more Viking. Yeah, I just have to resign to the fact that cool name is no longer. But in all honesty, it didn't really suit him. Like, he didn't look like a Viking. But yeah, he's definitely a Deefa. So yeah, she was saying the other day he was lying down in front of the fridge, and the cat just walked past him into the pantry where she gets fed. No growling, like, this is from her, mind you, he never growls or bothers, but no growling, no hissing, no anything from her, just walked straight past, went to get her food. He just was still lying down, didn't even bother. And then when she came back from eating the food, he was locked in his cage eating his food. The cat went straight over to the cage, they both touched noses through the cage, and then she just walked off. So they're definitely getting, like, you know, they can coexist basically. We don't have to worry about locking the cat up and keeping the dog separate. He does not care. He doesn't go near her. I mean, she growls and stuff every now and again at him, and he just ignores her. He doesn't even go near her. But I think she's getting a little bit cocky now, because I think she kind of knows that he's no threat. So she's starting to antagonize him and ambush him. And, you know, if he's walking past and she's under the couch, she'll like run out at him and then run back in. So she's getting to be a little bit cocky in that regard. And I hope it doesn't be her downfall at the end of the day, because Huskies are also known to be dogs that can be 100% pleasant, like, can coexist with the cat for years and years and years, and then just one day snap and eat it and kill it. So, you know, you never know. I personally don't think he'll ever be that kind of dog, because he's not in him. He's friendly with everyone and everything. He just wants to see everyone and everything. So I don't think he's going to be one of those kind of dogs, but never know. Be no love lost if that happens to that cat, because I've never really attached myself to that cat. I mean, I like her, don't get me wrong, but I don't really wish anything bad to happen to her. But yeah, she's definitely not a loving cat or anything like that. But anyway, look, I'm rambled too much. This is the update. We're all good. Life is good again. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next vlog. Thanks for watching.
You know what you should do?
What?
You know how cars are always breaking down?
Yeah.
You always vlog about it. You should set up a GoFundMe to get me a Land Cruiser.
Oh, that would be nice. Hey guys, please contribute to our GoFundMe getting me a brand new $100,000 Land Cruiser. That would be nice. Thank you. What do you reckon,
How many
Dave?
subscribers you got?
I don't know. What is it? 19,000 or something?
Okay, well that's only $5 from each one. Come on.
Wow. Come on, guys. Come on.
$5 each.
We're joking. We're joking. I would never. Never, ever, ever.
I'm not joking.
Battery's about to run flat. Defar! Mr. Defar!
Mom, please don't make it sound stupid.
He's got teeth. He's getting
He's
teeth.
getting his big baby teeth. His big baby teeth.
Show me your teeth.
Show us your little fangs that are coming through.
There.
You probably can't see them. Oh, get your paw
There.
Oh, look. His little teeth are coming in.
That's his new one.
Oh. Is that going to be one of the fangs or just one of the front teeth?
Fangs.